our engine of the business. All those businesses you see, which are prominent, having successful businessmen and women, they all have well-drafted business plans. But for your small business, you can start with a business model. It will help you to monitor your resources, to monitor your business, and to see really what you need in your business. So, content of a business plan. So the other one was a business what? Model. So these are the contents of a business plan. One of them, we have the executive summary. Executive summary is that enticing. Like when you're starting your business, it's supposed to be the last thing, but it's like when you're writing your business plan, it's the first thing. Because someone may not go through your details of a business plan, who just like request for your business plan and looks to only the executive summary. This summarizes, is a brief overview of your business and its objectives, what you're going to be doing, what you're aiming at, your goals. It summarizes all those things you're seeing there, the business distribution, the market analysis, the marketing plan, operations plan, financial plan, managing team, risk assessment. So the executive summary summarizes all those areas. So when someone or an investor is reading your business plan, he's going to look at that. So it should be very enticing and to their someone reading it. So when someone reads your executive summary, when it's not eye-catching, you may say, this business is not going to work. Before even going to the detail, you may explain well in the business description and market analysis, and you have a very good marketing plan. Yet you didn't list it in the executive summary. It shouldn't be too long, just summarize the one. So that someone couldn't take a lot of time reading. Just as you see a movie. When a movie is running, they give you the flashback. The things you're going to see before watching the movie. So they give that a flashback. It should be enticing. They should, like in the movie, they don't bring flashbacks which are bad. They pick up something which can make you do less. Which can make you put in mind that I have to watch this movie. So that is our executive summary. You should write something which may make me go really deep into your business plan and tell of it. Right. So I know we are finishing. Yeah? We are following where we are right now. Right now, I think you have started feeling the post tests. Also, yeah, they're not so hard. Very simple. Just as you see, just talking about usual mind. So we are looking at managing customers, or how you can manage your customers in a business. Okay. So when we are starting a business, we have our bosses, and our bosses are what? Our customers. So I want to get one volunteer to tell us who is our customer. Who is a customer?
I can say a customer is that individual. It can be a company or an entity that consumes or take use of your product or services.
Wow, thank you very much. Let's give 2 factorial claps. 2 factorial clap. We clap twice and once. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Some energy. Some people are not clapping. You clap twice, then last once. So when I say 3 factorials, you're going to keep us. So when I say 3 factorials, you clap thrice, twice, and once. Okay? Okay, thank you very much. Just as you explained it. Another person. Who is a customer? We have another one here.
Be a customer. A customer is someone who makes use of a good or service and gives payment for it.
Wow, thank you very much. Lastly,
A customer is someone who buys goods or services from your business.
okay, someone who buys goods from your business. They're all right answers, and it's really amazing.
A customer is someone who is willing and able to buy goods.
Okay, someone who's willing and able to buy your products you're making. So that's what we call a customer. So we said, who's ready here to read for us? Any volunteer?
A customer is an individual, group, or organization that purchases goods, products, or services. Customers can be individuals who buy products for personal use, companies that purchase goods or services for their operations, or clients seeking professional services.
Wow, thank you very much. Let's give her flowers. Flowers, eh? Okay, so a customer is an individual, group, organization that purchases goods, products, or services. So that's what we call a customer. Just as you have said, all the definitions have given me in this way very well what a customer really means. So effective communication to customers. How do we effectively communicate to customers? One, we have verbal communication skills, we have non-verbal communication skills, and we have active listening tips. So among the active listening tips is what we are doing right now. We are listening, and I appreciate you for that. Thank you for being the best class I've ever trained. And like when we talk about the active listening techniques, one of them is paying attention. Okay, where's Nango Christy? You haven't failed here. Right. So I was talking about the listening skills or techniques, just as we are practicing them right now. One of them is paying attention and showing interest. Showing interest means you have to do signs. You get to the customer that you're understanding what he or she is telling you. Then paraphrasing and summarizing empathetic listening. So empathetic listening simply means you put yourself in that customer's what? Situation. The way she has come in your business. Don't serve other people, like first come, first serve in a business. If you thought the other person's got a lot of money, but this one's buying one item, was the first person. First serve that per customer before you go to another person. So when we talk about using verbal communications, there is use of simple and straightforward languages. So you don't use comprehend like those words. They are called what? Those botanical words people use, the slogans. So you should always use the simple language someone can understand. Just as we are using the simple language here. So there is also employ a friendly and polite tone. Don't remove that harsh tone of yours. Even though you have it, keep it and show it somewhere else, but not at the business premises. Customers, they are very delicate. You may say something and it really sticks on her mind and the customer stops coming back. There's non-verbal communication cues. The eye contact, the body language, voice, tone, and inflection. So when you look at the tone of a person, the tone should be, how do you describe the tone? How do we describe the tone of a person? But do we know the tone? So how do you describe the tone? Just as you describe the feelings.
Okay, somebody's tone can be calm, and another's tone can be rude at the same time. It can be gained from the projection of someone, the way someone speaks. For example, if someone is loud and then arrogant, you can get from the way they are speaking. And also, if someone is calm, that person's voice is so soft. Thanks.
Wow, thank you very much. Now we see I have some literature students here. So, yeah, the calmness of the tone. So, when someone is very harsh, you know from the what? From the tone that this person is speaking negatively, or he or she is not happy with that what I'm telling him or her. So that tone really means a lot. You may be there when you're too harsh. You're not calm at your customers. The tone is high, not low, just as she said. So you should have that low tone when you're talking to customers, the welcoming tone. So when we look at the non-verbal, like you speak when I'm doing some language, like let me say when I say it's okay, or when I say, let me say when I ask you a question, and I say thumbs up if you get what I'm talking about, or thumbs down if you're not getting what I'm talking about, or thumbs in the middle when you are not sure. You get? So that verbal or the sign language you're using, it means that's what we call the non-verbal communication cues. It communicates a lot. Someone nodding yes or someone nodding no, it means that person is communicating. The eye contact, someone may look at you and you say, why is this person looking at me? He's communicating. So you should also know about those cues. Then we have overcoming communication barriers. One, like emotional barriers. We have cultural and diversity barriers. And we have technological barriers. So we have different types of customers who may come in your business. And we shall have the first type of a customer who is the inducive customer. We have the price-sensitive customers. We have the demanding customers. And we have the loyal customers and the difficult customers. So those are the 5 types of customers when you're doing in a business. We have the customers who come in your business when they are focused on the price of your products. How much do you cost, or how much do you sell your products? And someone comes, either it's because it's a cheap price or it's a high price. So we have those luxury customers that when someone comes, wants to buy something which is costing highly because the things that thing is original or is of good quality. And we have customers who look at things. Like let me say, when we are buying phones, we have the iPhones. We have the Techno, we have the Button, we have the Samsung, the Infinix, and so on. So when someone is buying like a phone, let me say the low-income earners, someone may look at an iPhone as a threat. Yes, he would like to buy it, but he can't afford it. So he's going to go to the price which is convenient. We look for a Techno which is at 350 rather than going in for the 2 and plus M for an iPhone. So that's what we call about the price-sensitive customers. When they see that your products are highly costing, they run and they go to the people who are selling at low prices. So we have the loyal ones that even if you give that person goods on credit, he will return the money the days I told you. Okay, so when the customer buys, let me say, the products of 200,000 shillings, and you break that customer for 100,000, and the customer turns that money, it means that's a loyal customer. But when the customer doesn't pay back, it means that's not a loyal customer. So we should look into those customers and see who is loyal and who is not loyal. So the difficult customers to deal with. The customer sends you for something, you're operating a boutique. The customer sends you for a cloth, you tell that person, I'm going to bring a cloth at this day, and you fail to deliver. I swear you will get issues with the customer. And you will call that customer to be bad, not knowing the root cause or that the customer is looking at. So creating a positive impression to the customer. How do you create a positive impression to the customer? How do we impress the customers? Any volunteer? Okay, she's saying you smile to the customer when she comes to business. Previous is another person. How to create that a positive impression.
Okay, to me, if you're dealing in a business, you can have a variety of things you're offering to your customer. For example, if you're dealing in linen, you can have different linen, for example, cotton, chiffon, to give the customer an impression that, there are very many choices to pick from, and even advise them on the long-lasting ones, the ones which are good for maybe an outfit for an occasion. That customer will definitely be pleased with you.
Thank you very much for that wonderful submission. So, when we talk about creating a positive impression, one of them is professional conduct and appearance. Professionalism, grooming, and personal hygiene. So, professionalism means you act like a person who knows what you're doing. Don't do it the other way around. And the way you conduct and the way you appear to the customer. Then we have greeting and welcoming customers, just as she said, with that elegant smile and displaying a positive attitude, just as you see those emojis. Don't, again, be gloomy to the customers. The customers come to you, instead of you greeting the customer is the one again greeting you. So that one will give them a very bad impression to come back. So if you want these repetitive customers in our businesses, we should learn these tips. How can we keep them coming year after year? And whenever you think about starting up a business, or whenever you start up a business, make sure you create that impression which will last for a decade or for years.
Hello, members. Actually, let me add a testimony on what he has just mentioned, how you treat your customers. I have my nephew who finished a degree in business administration. They are now owning a shoe. They call it a shoe. They have a shop, and they are selling what? Shoes. Very good shoes, bags, and whatever. Money is there. But now, when I go there, after I went there some time back, just to sit there and witness. But I realized the guy is not applying business skills in his business. A degree holder. One man came and he was asking, do you have these shoes? How much? The boy was like, which shoes? This one. Okay. How much? 30,000. Then the guy was like, 30? I have 15. Grab the shoe and said, what, the one you are buying, you mean you bought it at 15,000? Can you imagine? I was ashamed. I said, sure, you are in business. He said, look, rewarding the customer. A customer is a very big boss by them. You can't sleep hungry if you are doing any business. Whether you are selling what or what, you'll never sleep hungry. People in the offices, professors, will borrow you the money because they are waiting for salary. So any small business treat that customer with care and professionalism, as I say. Thank you very much. So,
wow. I think that speaks a volume to all of us here. Yes. It's really very vital. It may look very light here when we're speaking about it, but those customers very don't know. We are all customers here, and we have ever bought something. Whenever someone speaks something, you say, I will never go back to that guy or to that lady. She looks bad. There's a way, like, she gives you that eye contact, and you're like, wow, I can't come. So you buy at once and leave. You say, let me buy for today, but next time I'll go to the neighbor's what? Sure. Why? Because that impression that person has created to you has really made you like not good. So when we are building, we're looking at building trust and understanding customer needs. So how can we build that trust in the customers? Which things as entrepreneurs do we do to build trust in the customers? Like a customer comes in your premises today, tomorrow, next month, next year, until your business fails. Yeah, it fails. You fail with your customer. But we are not teaching people here whose business are going to fail. You get? So you have to see how to maneuver through all those challenges to make sure that your business works. Unless otherwise, when you didn't have the goal with the business, whenever you set goals and achievable goals, you should have clear what? Clear goals. We have goals which are not clear. Who can define for us what's a clear goal? A clear goal, not a goal, but a clear goal. When you're setting goals, yes.
The clear goal is smart.
Pardon?
The clear goal is smart.
Smart. True. Thank you very much. A clear goal, there is smart. What's smart in for?
It is specific, measurable, accessible, realistic, and time-bound.
Wow. So a clear goal should be smart. It should be specific, measurable, attained. You get? And it should be under that time bound. So if you just set goals that, let me say, but I want to start my business in 2 weeks to come. You get? So you haven't set it like, hey, by the way, that's at least there. So like, let me say you want to start up a business in 2026. You're starting now. So you're setting your goal. It will be either for which period of time. That's what called by time bound. Is it measurable? Can it be attained in that period you have set of the 2 weeks? So if it can't be attained in that period you have set, it means it's not a clear goal. Someone may just say, I want to start up a business, but my goal is to make profits. Is that clear goal? So you don't know which amount of profit do you want to make, in which period of time, and what are you going to be doing to make the profits? Or how much profits have you been getting? Okay, so when you make a clear goal, you clearly say, I want by the end of 2026, when I'm making a profit of 300,000 from the 100,000 I've been making. And how am I going to be doing that? Through increasing on my sales and enlarging my market strategy. You get increase on your customers to buy more so that you can get more profits. So that is very clear and measurable. The way you're going to, which percentage of customers, maybe by 10% or 5%, to make that profit of 300,000 by the end of next year. So that's what my career goals. Don't just say I want to make profits. In like which amount? How much profits do you want to make? That's what called by a clear goal. So building trust and understanding customers. One, you should be consistent and reliability. Consistency and reliability means that be someone the customer can rely on. These customers come not knowing what they want to buy, but others come knowing what they want to buy. So when the customer enters into your boutique or into your bakery, you have to be reliable, a person who's trustworthy. Like when the customer tells you something, you can work on it and you consistently do what you promise. There's transparency and honesty. If you're not transparent, you lose customers. And when you're building trust, one of them is you have to be transparent. If something is not good, tell them, "Maimatoke, it's right." You get? So that you build that trust with customers. Whenever she goes the other side, she'll be telling people, and that lady, even if the thing like what is telling is bad, he will tell you. He will just tell you like the bad banana. So confidentiality and data privacy. There are customers who come to buy some things whereby they don't want other people to know. But whenever they buy something, again you're telling other people about what they have bought. So that one really cannot build customers what? Trust. Because when a customer tells you something and you whisper it out, it means you're going to lose the customers. So when you look at building trust, so if you want to the relationship last more with your customers, one of them is you do the follow-ups and aftercare. You send a text, as I said before, the emails and so on. Then there is also loyalty programs and benefits, implement customer loyalty programs to reward repeat customers. So when a customer comes in, like every day, every month, every year, you can organize some awarding ceremonies to award those customers. Just like other markets do. Like for us, we have a small market called Data Owen in Ginger. So when there is a customer month or customer week, they award those prominent customers who have been coming to buy or to shop daily. So they organize that loyalty customer programs to reward those customers who repeatedly come to businesses. So you can also do that in your business when you're doing that. Thank you. So that is it. Following up means the text, the words. You can text for the customer, "Thank you for coming, next time better," like that. So you're keeping that reality which lasts for long. So managing your customer expectations. You get? So customers also have the expectations. Don't think they are like the only person having that expectation. So the customer retention. How do you retain customers in our businesses? I think we can discuss that. How do we retain customers in our businesses? Which things do we do to retain customers?
How do we retain customers in the business? The first one is here.
By giving them discounts.
By giving them discounts? First one with that mind? Yes, we give them discounts. It's correct.
Okay.
Like in which situation?
You can set like a promotion. They say that sometimes we see the supermarket promotions. They say that when you buy this or when you buy things in bulky, they don't sell them to you at the same price with that one who is buying something in retail form. Like, for example, I personally, when you come to our shop, because we deal in spare parts,
When you're buying only one piston, we shall sell it to you at 10,000. But when you're buying like 5 or more than 3, we shall give it to you at 9,000.
Wow, thank you very much. One clap for her. One clap for her. So, well elaborated. I think we all understand that. Another one?
By providing excellent customer care services.
By providing extended customer services such as?
Like being polite unto them and responding well to them.
Well, thank you very much. One tweet for her. One tweet for her. Let's give her tweets.
People are selfish. Eh?
Thank you. By producing good quality products and services for the customers.
Yes, quality matters. So when you want to retain your customers, deliver to the best. If it is not a good quality, don't bring it at your shop. Why do you bring poor quality goods? That will make your customer to run away from your businesses. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, for that wonderful thing. So understand why customers leave. So why do you think customers leave our businesses?
Customers leave the business when they are not always updated about the goods that are in the business.
Why do customers?
When they're not updated about the goods in the business, what you're doing. You get me when I don't know what you're selling, I may leave. I may think you have the old what? The old store. Yes? Another person?
Poor customer service.
Yes, poor customer service. If you don't handle me well as a customer, I'll definitely leave your business. Because you're not the only person dealing with that business, or that kind of business. Yes?
Another one is here.
Low quality production.
Pardon?
Low quality production.
Low quality production. So when your quality of goods, they are not really meeting the customer needs, they are going to leave your business. Lastly,
Customers can leave the business like when you hike the prices compared to your competitors.
yes, the pricing, not the costing of your products. When you overprice, when you overcost your product, remember, you set your prices for your products. Mostly those people dealing in the salons, you may get that wig at 1.5, and your people, like your competitors, are selling it at 2,000, but for you, you want to sell it at 5,000. You get? So that one only may let the customers leave. Your products are expensive, yet you're not the only person dealing the same things. So those are the reasons why customers do what? Leave our businesses. I think we can okay, so that's all about customers. Whenever you look at customers, look at that. So right now, I'm going to invite in my colleague to come and take you through the remaining 3 modules. So they will be it's going not to delay, like only 30 minutes, it will be done. So let's just follow up. I think we are filling those posts. Those post what? Tests, eh? Are we getting the answers or we are not getting the answers? We are getting, eh? Yeah, other people are only asking, they are giving me answers which are there and they want to confirm. Okay? So they are right. Thank you very much for being a wonderful class. We meet next time.
Don't you think it deserves a thunderous hand clap? No. Let's give him a thunderous hand clap. Asante sana. No. Asante sana. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, my colleague Moses. I think you've really dissected this very well. Members, are we okay? Do we need to just maybe stand up for just 1-2 minutes? Is there any person who can give us a refresher? Just a teaser?
Yes, Madam Zainab.
Because I think I can see on the faces of many of us
They are looking
a little bit exhausted. So before even we kickstart, I am going to take you through the 3 remaining modules, and they're not going to take so long, just like as my colleague has mentioned. Let me request one individual to volunteer and just take us through a teaser. Just 1-2 minutes is enough. We can just stand. We just refinate, like,
Let's first observe
your name, then just take us through one. We can just stand up.
Mr. Facilitator, I request to observe the adhan first. I think we can start, sir.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. My name is Namuno Sarah. What we are going to do is very simple. Let's stand up.
Let's all stand up.
Okay, we are going to write the first letters of our names. First letters of our names using the head.
You write the first
We have started the first letter of your name using the head.
Let's all stand up. Let's all stand up. Let's all stand up.
Oh, you want a demonstration?
Let's
Okay.
all stand up.
My name is Namono. My first letter is N. So observe how I'm going to write it using my head. Those ones who can be able to see me.
You go in front.
Okay. As I was coming, someone whispered to me that you use the waist. But you shall not do that one. So I'm going to write the first letter of my name, that is N, using my head. Just like that. You can do that for your name also. Within only 1 minute you'll be done.
Let's all stand up.
Yes, members, I think we can take our seat. I just wanted that teaser for a minute. Fast forward, I would love to appreciate my colleague who's just been here with you guys. And I believe he has conducted a very successful facilitation. I will repeat my names. My name is Molocho Eric. I am going to be taking you through the last 3 modules, and I want us to be a little bit more interactive. We're not going to take a lot of time as well, because we wanted to at least make a completion, but it's not all about completing, it's all about us learning something, right? Now, I want to first understand amongst us here, who is that one person who is already having a small business they're conducting within the campus premises? There is someone behind there. Maybe you can tell us the kind of business that you're doing.
The kind of business, small business I do, I'm a hairdresser. I do make hair of all kinds.
Wow, that is really good. You're already another person, another individual.
The small business I'm doing, I sell matoke, cabbage, tomatoes, and also snacks mostly.
All right. My other colleague had talked about feasibility study, so we are going to come to that. I'm just going to talk briefly about that, and also identifying opportunities within the market that you already have, niche, market niche, all right?
The small business I have is a mobile money agent, and I sell
Mobile money?
Mobile money agent.
Can you pardon that?
Mobile money agent.
Oh, mobile money agent. Oh, that is very good.
And I sell daddies, bapia, and mandas.
Because people are hungry always at campus, eh? I'm joking, eh? That is just a joke.
Another one. This is directed to market your business, eh?
My business, I am Nauzale Adia, sleep in Smile Hostel. I do business in chapati, merengue, and noodles.
Wow. Members, all of you enjoyed those things she has mentioned, eh? All of us will enjoy that, eh? All right?
The business I operated, I sell some shoes, I sell some sandals, heels, shoes, sneakers, and all.
All right. Thank you so much. Probably now, we want to understand and see how do we grow our businesses. What are these growth hacking strategies that we can undertake as entrepreneurs? And you know, for those who are already doing businesses, this is very important, and all of us who are intending. Members, do we know that we already have market here? You already have customers within this very session? A lot of them, right? So we need to understand what are those hacking strategies that you can build upon to ensure that you grow your business, right? So, in most cases, by the end of this, we really have to understand, or we'll have to be in position to understand the following. How do we grow the businesses? Also mastering what we call the 4 P's of marketing. Some of us, we do market, but we've not really taken criteria to understand the places that we market our products from, and where do we go to when we need to sell our product. And also, we definitely understand how we effectively promote. Some of us, we do not know how best can we promote our products. It's very important to know that. And also developing what we call pricing strategies. You've started up a business, you're selling chapati, and then the quality of chapati that you have, and then you just want to put a price higher than all other existing competitors in the business, right? It does not justify anything. So we need to also understand that. And also you set and achieve what we call savings goals. Some of us, when we get a profit in the business, we end up, buy something nice, fancy. But my colleague mentioned about something to reinvest the monies that we've made, the profits. Profits are not meant to be eaten because there are certain circumstances when a business may reach a point and it is having challenges, right? So this cash saving will help us to ensure that we bring back the business to life, right? And also we'll definitely understand sources of business finance. We have already talked about this. We already know the sources of business finance. And then also, how do we borrow, master the borrowing practice. An individual who has gotten money from a friend, there is not much interest. But when you get from a money lender, this person is going to take a part of your profit. You know it very well that interest takes a part of our profit in the business, right? So also we need to also focus on profitability in business. Profits are very important and vital for us as entrepreneurs in each and every angle as we start businesses. I believe we can all agree upon this. But also, if you say that you're having a business and your main focus is not profit, that means you're running a charity organization. For every business sustainability, you have to be in position to run with profit making. Reason being, we have costs that we incur, and then also we need to grow in that long run, right? So we're going to see that strategies to ensure that we see how businesses can grow. And also, we need to also eliminate waste in business operations. Some of us will really create a lot of redundancy of raw materials, then which will definitely create a lot of waste. This can be in terms of how we produce, and also what are the kind of employees that we have within the businesses, the people who make for us. For example, the goods. You make chapati, but there is that individual or a worker who is making chapati for you, right? And also, how do we optimize inventory management? So in most cases, we know inventory has what we call an expiry period. Can we agree upon that? Reason being, at the end of the day, you cannot sell that inventory which has been brought in now, rather than what we call the earlier inventory. I know some of us, we know what we call the first in, the first out. You first take to the production unit the first inventory brought into the organization or the business. So, growth hacking strategies basically are innovations and also unconditional techniques used by businesses to achieve what we call rapid and sustainable growth in a short period of time. So I believe most of us have what we call innovative ideas, and I know the businesses which have been mentioned earlier, they have these kind of criteria that they do undertake upon. Some of us, we have phones. I've been always talking to certain individuals somewhere. We have phones, smartphones. You put on data on your phone. But what is that important thing that you use your data for? It has to gain value for the money that you put data on. Right? Now, if you just go on TikTok, it is not bad to go on TikTok. I've seen very many businesses thriving on TikTok. But what are you going to do? Let that video you're watching on TikTok be a foundation for benchmarking and also to help you to be in position to grow your business, right? So, in most cases, we've seen businesses, for example, when we look at the sport business in town. I know some of you people know, how many people know the sport chapati business in town? You people have not eaten chapati from the sport. Now, that business, I think I will definitely use it as an example when we look at innovativeness, right? So these guys, they started by selling chapati. Now they came up with different ideas to do what we call outside catering and also create what we call hotel at the end of the day, whereby they will provide accommodation. Now, to be innovative is not looking at one side of the place to ensure that you're going to gain what we call revenues, because revenues are supposed to be generated in different angles. It's the same thing that we say we do not have to look in one direction. We have to look at different directions to grow our businesses. So in most cases, one thing that we need to understand in why is business growth strategy very important? It will definitely help us to manage what we call costs over market. And also it will definitely help us to be in position to have what we call the rapid experimentation. Now, when you experiment, it will help you to identify the challenges within the business, and then these challenges will help you to create what we call improvements within that particular business, right? And then also we'll look at scalability and virality also. And then customer-centric approach. How do you approach your customers? What are those avenues? My colleague talked about what we call the feedback. How do you communicate often to your customers? Do you take contacts of your customers to ensure that you give them information about the different goods that you have brought? Some of us, we may be having what we call boutique businesses. Maybe we're dealing in fashion, right? You can use your WhatsApp to post about a new cloth that you have brought into the business, right? And it means that here you're going to be in position to be in position to talk to your customers and be in position to I believe that we're supposed to go for prayers, but let's have just 30 minutes. Let me just summarize this in 30 minutes so that we'll be in position to move and go for prayers, right? Sorry about that, members. So let's look at the 4 P's. I'm just going to talk about the 4 P's, the 4 marketing P's. These are the generic points that we need to look at when we are marketing our product. The first is the product. What is that particular product you're selling, right? Does it solve the problem of your customers? So for those individuals who have businesses here, for example, Chapati, they identified that people may need something for breakfast, right? So it solves the problem of hunger. Then we have the price. You set what we call a competitive price that is attractive to what we call a customer, and it is profitable to your business. Do not set a price which is lower just because you want to impress the customer. You have to set a price which is going to be in position to benefit your business in terms of profits and also benefit the customer who is consuming the product so that they gain or they be satisfied. The third is promotion. Some of us were using what we call the digital platform. So use digital marketing tactics to promote your business, and also you have to identify your target audiences. My colleague talked about certain businesses which may benchmark on wrong avenues of promoting our businesses. For example, your business or your members here, our colleagues here, maybe they're your customers you're targeting. Do you think you go and market your product on NBS or NTV? No, it is very wrong. It's a wrong choice that you would have taken. Now, the choice that you will take is basically all of us have WhatsApp groups. So you can use that and leverage onto that digital platform to ensure that you market your product very well to the customers. Then also the place, you choose the right distribution channels to get your product and services in front of your target audience, right? What are these channels that you're using? Do customers come directly to where you are making or maybe producing your product, or do you take that product there, you take the product to your customers to ensure that they will benefit or enjoy from it, right? So when we are understanding what we call the funding landscape, in most cases, entrepreneurs, we need to understand this because it's very important. At the end of the day, it helps us to build capacity within a business and also get the finances, the right channels of financing, which will help our businesses. Now, the financing of your business, these are the different points that we already had mentioned. I'm going to highlight and talk about them briefly. The first is basically bootstrapping. So, bootstrapping is basically, getting what you had already got, like for example, the profits from the business and reinvesting it back into your business. And also we have what we call small business loans. I know most of the businesses to grow, they always would use what we call small business loans in one way or another. And then also we have what we call the grants. We have heard about things to do with parish development models, youth lively fund. These are funds which are given to empower us into growing our businesses, because we're not going to pay back these monies, but they are going to help us to ensure that we grow our businesses. Then we have what we call crowdfunding. You have a pool of 7 colleagues or members in one circle that you believe in. Then every week you collect money, you give to one individual. That is what we call crowdfunding. You have an associate whereby all of you people are doing business. you gain the money, and then at the end of the day you give to one individual. Then also we have what we call venture capital and angel investments or investors. These are people who already have a lot of money, and then they want to venture or maybe support or fund other small businesses which are still just growing. So in most cases, safe borrowing, we'll just talk about safe borrowing. In most cases, you need to look at ways on having ways to avoid having a loan which is going to bring down your business. Now, if you borrow money and these monies are going to incur what we call interest, it is going to create a very big gap into your business because it is going to take part of your profit. But if you get money from what we call the different crowdfunding, your members, this money is not going to have what we call interest. These amounts of money are going to help your business to grow. You will pay it back, but it's not going to incur what we call, at the end of the day, it's not going to incur interest in the business. So, in most cases, how do we set prices? So, setting prices, in most cases, we need to look at what our competitors have said. You need to look at your competitor. What is the price of your competitor? You are a new individual or a new entrepreneur in business, but you are setting a price without checking what your other competitors are setting. We need to look at this. It is very important in one way or another, because it will help you to avoid circumstances of you chasing away some of your customers. Because if you set a higher price than what your existing competitors have said, it is going to become a very big challenge, right? Then also you have to offer what we call discounts and promotions. When you offer discounts and promotions, you're going to have a lot of sales. You're going to gain more sales at the end of the day because customers love what we call discounts and promotions. There is no customer who doesn't love discounts, right? And then also, in most cases, you have to test different pricing strategies to find out about what works best for your business, right? So, what are the consequences? I'm going to briefly talk about the consequences of poor pricing strategies. What are these consequences that are going to come into your business when you set prices very badly? So it will reduce your profit margins. For example, if you set a very lower price, it is going to reduce onto your profits. Remember, your business is undertaking what we call the different costs within the business, right? And then also we have difficulty in covering costs. You will not be in position to cover the costs. Reason being, your price has been set low and the profit margin will be less. Then we have what we call perceived low value. So most cases, when you set a lower price, most of the customers may think that your product is substandard, right? So that is the importance of us carrying out what we call research about what the different customers or what different competitors are setting, the different prices. Because to avoid that notion of what we call the different customers stating your product to be substandard. The next is basically difficulty in competing. When you set a very higher pricing, it will be very hard for you to compete healthy into the business environment. And also brand perception and positioning. When you set a very low price, that means people will perceive your brand as a low quality brand, right? And then difficulty in sustaining the business. That means if you set a low price, that means you will have less profits, and it means you will not meet the targets and the costs of the business. So it becomes very hard for the business. Now, when we look at the profitability in businesses, basically we need to analyze what we call our financial habits. Also, we need to ensure that we see how has our business been performing in one way or another, right? So the performance is very important. I must state, when you check the performance, how have you been performing the last 2 weeks vis-a-vis the current week? It will give you a direction, a sense of direction. Just like my colleague had mentioned about the business plan, all these are inclusive when we come to the financial part of the business plan. So it will help us to get to understand, and also it will also identify areas where you can increase what we call revenue, or you can also do what we call reduce what we call the expenses. Remember, in any business setting, the major goal that you need to look at is basically to improve onto the revenues. The sales revenues are very important, right? And then you rather you reduce onto the different costs that you're incurring in a business. It's very important. It will help the business to grow in one way or another. So, setting goals, saving goals. How do you set saving goals in a business? So, most of the time you have to set goals which are very realistic. You cannot say that your business is making a profit of not more than 100,000 and then you have to make savings of 150. That is not realistic. The saving goals will be determinant onto how much profitability your business is making. And then also using budgeting tools to track your expenses and also identifying areas where you can cut costs. Cost cutting is one of the things, but also you have to be very sensitive when you're cutting costs within the business. Remember, when you cut costs, like most of the time, it will ensure that it will reduce onto the quality of the products that you'll be producing. So we need to cut costs, but at the end of the day, we need to cut them in a wiser direction. Then also you need to consider alternative ways to reduce expenses, such as outsourcing or automation. So automation is basically, if you've been making you're a person who makes juice, and then you've just been making juice locally, you can get what we call a blender, which will help, or even these juice making machines. It makes a lot of juice in just a single production batch, rather than this traditional making or producing of the juice. Then also, you have to look at reinvesting your savings back into the business. It's the same thing that So it's the same thing that my colleague had already mentioned about, most of the time when the business is making profits in one way or another, you need to seek for ways on how to reinvest rather than spending these monies. Because once you spend these monies, at the end of the day, it becomes very hard for the business to grow in one way or another. So in most cases, you need to seek for solutions on how best can you be in position to reinvest back the money. Because the more you spend the money out of the business, it becomes very hard for you to be in position to scale up and also grow your business to be in position to compete wisely within the business environment. So this one is also meant upon managing the people that you are with within the business environment. It will help you to be in position to create that, that cost-cutting edge in one way or another. So it will be very good for you to find that alternative. Now let's look at the different social medias that we can use, leveraging on social media to boost your business profitability. I know in most cases, all of us, we use social media here, and I believe each one of us is a potential customer when we look at us starting a business here. So when you leverage on social media, it is going to help us to be in position to cover a bigger market audience. Because at the end of the day, it's the best thing that we can leverage on in the current modern working environment, so business environments, right? So I wanted us to know which kind of social medias do we know, the different participants. Like I want to know, apart from TikTok, also apart from WhatsApp, I need to know which other social medias that you have used before.
There is LinkedIn.
Perfect, that is a very good one. Any other member? I think social media platforms that people have used before, even if it is not for business purposes. Now I want us to translate into using these different social medias to ensure that we create what we call businesses. Any other?
There is Canva and Pinterest.
Yes, Pinterest, that is perfect. Another one?
There's also Instagram.
Yes, that is Instagram. Now, one thing that I need you to first understand when we come into the different social medias, you need to know what each and every other social media does best, right? Because when we look at Instagram, it is good when it comes to the different, is it good for videos and pictures? Nice pictures, right? And then TikTok. All of us, we have TikTok here, right? We don't have TikTok. Some of us don't have TikTok, right? All right. So I thought all of us have. Sorry about that. All of us, we have TikTok, because I know this is a modern generation we are living in. So we'll definitely get to know. Now, when we're looking at us creating what we call a corporate connection with the different business foundations or different businesses out there, we can look at something to do with LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very good in that direction. So, in most cases, when we are looking at social media in the current modern world is very important. It's very important in a way that it will help our businesses get a wider market reach. Because right now, members, if I may ask a question, if you have a product that you're selling and you post it in a WhatsApp group, don't you think it is going to get to reach to the different markets very fast? Rather than it being maybe taken to an advertisement for a radio presentation, right? Or Right. So, why should you use social media platforms in one way or another, right? So, social media platforms in businesses, they help us to get what we call a wider reach or a wider market base. So, in case of any other thing that you need to look at currently when you're marketing or promoting your product, we need to look at what we call the social media leveraging. We need to leverage on the social media. So, what are these factors that you need to consider as a business person when you are choosing a social media platform to use in your business, right? The first one is basically the audience, right? The audience, we need to look at the age. What are the different kind of people that you are looking at? Maybe if you're looking at the person in the village, it will be very hard for you to use either WhatsApp or Facebook, because most of the people, they do not have what we call a wider reach of internet, right? And then also you need to look at what we call the different goals. What's your goal? What is your market reach in that particular maybe month or week that you're looking at? And then also you need to look at the content. How do you design? What kind of message do you design, and what is the different category of group that you're looking at? If I may say, if you're designing maybe, for example, a video of selling a product to Asia, definitely, if you don't put some music in the background, it becomes very hard for you to get the catch or maybe to get the youth. Because most of the youth, they love music. Do we love music here? You don't love music? That is a surprise. Then also you need to look at what we call the competition. What are your competitors doing vis-a-vis what you are doing? It helps us to get to know and also to understand what maybe you might format within the different advertising. And also the time and resources. You need to look at how much your resources will they be in position to sustain. And the resources, you need to understand the time and also the resources that you're going to invest. The resources that you're going to be in position to invest into the advertising. Then also, in most cases, how do we develop what we call a social media strategy, right? So you need to set what we call the different goals. Then also you need to optimize your social media profiles. What is the profile that you're putting out there for your business? It's very important. If you do not have a right direction for your business platform, it becomes very hard for you to be in position to leverage onto the customer base that you have within a business. Then, in most cases, you have to create what we call compelling, compelling data or maybe compelling content. I think most of us have heard people speak about content. Content creators, social media influencers.